He doesn't believe in the grand jury. All right, good morning. Kevin Miller in the morning, KIDO Talk Radio, live from Independence Indoor Shooting. So great to be here. Want to thank our wonderful promotion czarist, Rome, for giving us a couple of tickets to see Garth Brooks. We would love for you to stop by, but we've got Carl here. We've got Mike in Meridian. We've got Art from the grand jury from Star that is now living, or used to live in Arizona, now lives in Star. And by the way, this just in, true believers, apparently there is a power outage in the Star Eagle area, 3,800 homes without power. Idaho Power on the case right now. They hope to get power restored by, 7:30, and we want to thank Mrs. Miller for that news-breaking report. By the way, I always like it when the power goes out because, you know, it's how life should be. You should be dependent on the radio. Not this fancy television, not this fancy phone. Hey, look, I'm streaming on a phone. It's like listening to the radio, right? Anyway, there we have it. So we're at Independence Indoor Shooting. We'd love to see you come by, shoot for free. My man, Carl, you were here early this morning. Good morning.
Yes, sir.
Well, you got to get next to the mic.
See my friend Kevin.
Well, it's been a while. I think, the last time you saw me was at a debate watch party? Or?
Yep, a few of those.
Right.
And then a long time ago, we played tug-of-war over your Marconi.
That's right. That was 2014 at the old Chick-fil-A.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I'm going to have you stick into like I am right now.
Sorry, I'm not getting a little bit not trained here with
right.
the old radio persona thing.
Right. Well, you can see there's a lot of training going on here this morning. Smooth precision operation that we run here, sir.
Well, I can tell that. I mean, the Commodore 64 itself just impresses the hell out of me.
Now you know our secrets. Thank you, Carl. So what are you excited to shoot here today?
You know, I'm really excited for the wife to have the opportunity to try out the difference between the single stack XD and the regular XD and 9 and 40, but I'm wanting to shoot a Barrett.
Right. I can tell, and you were here before everybody else.
Oh, yes, sir.
You were here with the
5 a.m.
5 a.m., and you're going, where's Kevin Miller?
Yeah,
that little scammer.
Yeah, it's okay. We'll let you off the hook on this.
I appreciate that, Carl. Mike and Meridian, good to have you here.
Oh, good morning. First time I've come over here.
Right. So you're...
Because my friend Cole from Meridian is over there banging away, having some fun, and I'm sitting here talking with you because I wanted to meet you for a long time.
Well, we appreciate your... I know. We're working on it, right. We're going to get back to you in a minute. We might have you... you ever done karaoke before? You could just nod your head. So you can, if you could... Okay, well, you might be sharing the mic with Carl in a minute, so it'll be very exciting for all of us. Phone numbers here. We'll get to that in a minute. But back to this, Carl. Why is it so important to maintain a healthy Second Amendment?
Well, it protects all the others. Without that one linchpin, there's nothing to take and protect any of our other rights.
Indeed. And coming up, we're going to hear from what President Trump had to say. So I'm going to have Mike, I'm going to have you move over here and, get a little exercise here this morning. And by the way, we want you to stop down. It's Friday. It's going to be hot. And if you're in Star, you're in Eagle, maybe Middleton as well. I'm sorry you don't have power, but if you are an old school soul or just an old soul, you know the batteries of the radio will never fail you, right? That's what we want. All right, Mike from Meridian, good to see you.
Good morning, and how are you today?
I'm pretty good. We're going to have you got to close up to the mic there. We've got the young Jared. He'll assist you with that. So tell us a little bit about what brings you to Independence Indoor Shooting.
Come here to talk with you.
All right.
I wanted to meet you for a long time. I've listened to you on the radio. My friend Cole, who you already know.
Right.
Tall guy.
Right.
Yeah. He's
well,
having
look, everybody's pretty much a tall guy around me.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well, then
in a past life, they used to call me the round mound of sound, and it wasn't because I was tall.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Wide.
I just enjoy coming here. I was glad they built this place. Gives me a chance to do what I like to do.
Now, you've been here before, right?
Oh, yeah. I'm a member here.
So tell us a little bit about Independence Indoor Shooting. Why do you like it so much?
It's something that where you can get in, you can do the things, because it's basically what the gentleman was saying about the Second Amendment. They want to eliminate all of that and get rid of all the gun shops, gunsmiths, and everything else. I'm from Chicago. I lived there all my life. And if people don't know what's going on, that's the most anti-gun state besides New York and a couple other places. And losing your rights, the whole problem is when you lose your guns, then you're going to lose your rights, your freedoms, and everything else. And history's always proved that.
Well, and that's the scary part. You go back to Chicago, Mike, and what former President Obama tried to do with running us out with ammunition and everything else. Came very close to getting rid of the guns.
Well, right now, I had a friend who just moved out of there. They're raising the $30 Illinois State firearms card, and from what I've been told, I'm also a member of the Illinois State Rifle Association, and they're going to raise that up a couple $100 for 2 years, which means people are not going to come up with that kind of money for just a card for 2 years, which makes everybody in the state of Illinois who has a firearm a criminal.
Wait a minute. Anybody who has and they just legalized marijuana in Illinois.
Uh-huh.
So they're getting rid of the guns, and they're bringing in the dope.
That's right. I lived there all my life. I worked for the railroad for over 33 years. And in that 33, 28 of them, I had to carry a sidearm when I was at work. It was that dangerous. And I've been out of there for 20 years now. I'm retired. Right now, you got 2 drug cartels with 6 to 7 gangs each in there, and that's why it's a war zone. You don't have kids on a porch playing, and all of a sudden they're all getting shot. It's not the gang shooting at each other. They're terrorizing the streets.
Right. Interesting.
People don't want to talk about it, and they don't tell you about that stuff. But legalizing marijuana, and you listen to Chuck Schumer, they want to legalize marijuana all over the country. And for people who have medications that are not supposed to have marijuana or anything in their systems are going to flunk blood tests, even if it's a second and third hand.
No, I agree with you on that. I agree. So, Mike, you shooting today, or what are you doing?
Nope, I'm here to sit and talk and listen to you for a while, and I let my friend go over there. I'll be here probably tomorrow afternoon with him, and we'll be banging away over there on the 25-yard range.
All right. Well, thank you, Mike. Appreciate it.
Quite welcome.
All right, let's go to Art and Star, who's going to join us now. This is I love being here at Independence Indoor Shooting. Mike, we'll get back to you in a minute, but this is like taking phone calls and just having people in person. Art, good to have you with us. We always see you at our events. Thank you for joining us.
That's a nice thing to be here today at the gun store. Last time I was here was the last time you were here. Been watching what's happening nationwide, especially with this insanity being performed by the so-called elected representatives of Nancy Pelosi and the failure to have a U.S. citizen question. That's the first step to totally losing your country. And the realization that unless we stop this illegal alien flood coming in, it's just matter of a few years. We won't have a country anymore. It'll be gone.
Well, that is the scary part. Now, you moved here. Well, it's funny. So many people are moving into the Treasure Valley. Art, you're like an old soul, and you've been here a couple years. How long have you been here?
Just about 2 years.
Yeah, just about 2 years.
Yeah.
Saw you at God and Country.
Yeah.
But you've been here 2 years, and so many people are moving in. You're like an old timer. Do you feel like an old timer or not?
I still feel like I'm fairly new.
Okay.
Because moving, when I moved from Kingman, Arizona. It took 2.5 trucks to move all my stuff. That's how much stuff I have.
Right.
And then the house was a lot smaller than what I had down there, so I have a packing density problem.
Right.
So my garage is just packed to the gunwales, and I got to have a giant yard sale someday to get rid of it.
It's tough to get rid of things.
Yeah.
At 1 a.m. I was picking up my parents from the airport this morning, and it literally I live like a king for, I don't know. It's the nature of us pack rats, if you will. I live like a king for 11 months and 2 weeks out of the year, and then when they come to visit, it just about killed me. Throwing things away, packing things up. Thank goodness they have those containers at Home Depot. You can just throw everything in and put them somewhere, right?
That's what I have. I got them everywhere. I guess.
Yeah.
Are your parents coming down here to the show?
They are still sleeping because they got to bed about 2 a.m. And,
yeah.
Since I'm working for their Social Security, they're enjoying their retirement.
Oh, there we go.
They were saying something to me. Oh, why don't you get a cabin or somewhere and relax? And I said, I'm not relaxing. I'm working for you guys.
Right. Who wants to retire? Retirement is misaligned.
I don't know about that. That sounds pretty good. It'd be like what I do when I'm not doing this. Just watch the shows, read a book, figure out what I could have been. That's thinking entertainment for some people.
I'm thinking of starting an electronics school for kids where they get an education in true technology.
Well, and true technology about the grand jury. We've
Yes,
got a couple
that's
kids here that
something
need
else.
some education this
On
morning.
the American grand jury.
Right.
Yes. Well, I hadn't bought my books but I can talk from memory as to what that's all about.
Well, we've got a lot of time to do that.
The American grand jury is actually older than the Constitution of the United States. It's older than the United States Marine Corps. The first
Don't tell the Marines that.
Well, it turns out that the American grand juries are the secret owners of the Marine Corps.
Well, you see, you're going to learn a lot here this morning. Art, please stand by. Mike and Meridian, we got Carl shooting already.
All right.
Kevin Miller in the morning. Phone number is 580-5436, 580-KIDO.
Today I'm here to say we are not backing down on our effort to determine the citizenship status of the United States population.
In my view, the government has ample justification to inquire about citizenship status on the census and could plainly provide rationales for doing so that would satisfy the Supreme Court.
Today I will be issuing an executive order to put this very plan into effect immediately. I'm hereby ordering every department and agency in the federal government to provide the Department of Commerce with all requested records regarding the number of citizens and non-citizens in our country.
The Supreme Court correctly recognized that it would be entirely appropriate to include citizenship questions on the census. It nevertheless held that the Commerce Department did not adequately explain its decisions for doing so on the 2020 census.
So coming up next, we'll take your phone calls. The president says, I'm issuing an executive order. I am saving America. 580-5436, 580-KIDO. We don't have to say, oh, what do you think? Is it a good thing? You know what's right. You know it's time to do the right thing. You know it's time to support the president on this. And by the way, back to you. So what you're looking for the girls with the guns? Is that it?
Well, I heard
here, get back a little closer.
I heard that girls with guns would be down here, and I thought that maybe I would submit a few people that I know for the contest.
Well, they have to be here. Well, they have to.
Yeah,
you have to have a
it's too
photo.
late. It turns out that the photo and everything, they ended up going to a baseball game somewhere in another city.
Well, that's okay. They can still submit online.
Oh, okay.
But Girls with Guns is kicking off thanks to Independence Indoor Shooting, and we're pumped up about that. Do you like Girls with Guns?
Yeah, I mean, the two girls I'm thinking of, they like to shoot Daewoo rifles owned by the South Korean Marines.
Well, you can't see that every day.
Yeah, it's a very rare type of gun, but it's got automatic gas compensators on it. You can set it for 4 seasons. It has a built-in gun cleaning kit, folding stock, breaks down real easy, never jams, twice as accurate as a regular M1A1.
Well, all right.
223 full metal jacket. So.
All right. Art is here. Mike and Meridian. The gang's all here. Kevin Miller. Wow. Loving America and Loving Idaho. Kevin Miller in the morning at KIDO Talk Radio. And look, we'd love for you to have an opportunity to go see Garth Brooks. We're at Independence Indoor Shooting. Thanks to Art reminding us Girls with Guns 2019 kicking off. Great prizes thanks to our sponsor, Independence Indoor Shooting. Taking your calls about President Trump and his big speech yesterday.
The Census Bureau can use this information along with information collected through the questionnaire to create the official census. In other words, as a result of today's executive order, we will be able to ensure the 2020 census generates an accurate count of how many citizens, non-citizens, and illegal aliens are in the United States of America.
And, of course, we'll get the response in a minute from the Democrats. Now, Russ, thank you for being here.
You bet. My pleasure.
So what brings you here this morning?
To learn.
What'd you like to learn?
Well, I'd like to learn a little bit about self-protection and what I ought to have to be able to do that.
Sure. Well, you've come to the right place. You ever been here before?
No, this is my first time.
Well, we could have Art or Mike or any of our celebrity VIPs show you around if you'd like.
Well, that might be a good idea.
Yeah.
I'm kind of interested in pistols.
Right.
But always thought, what do you use for the best protection if somebody's coming after you?
Right.
So.
Well, we've got a lot of experts at the Independence Academy that can help you as well. Your thoughts on the president's speech?
I agree with a lot of the things that he is talking about. This situation that we have in our United States is critical right now, and the election that's coming up is of prime importance. People really need to wake up to what's happening, or just like Art was saying and some of the others that we've heard, we're going to lose our country. they just we're losing our values and the things that our country was founded upon, and they're trying to take away our Constitution. So that's important.
Indeed. Anything else you'd like to share with us, Russ?
There's just we could go on for hours.
Well, we've got till 9, and we're sending our crew back there. Already the shooting is starting, so hopefully we'll be able to hear the sound. There's nothing like the sound of gunfire in the morning.
I love the sound of gunfire.
Well, if you're going to speak into the thing there.
I love the sound of gunfire in the morning.
Well, the honest gunfire, yes, exactly. Not the gangbanger gunfire.
Gangbangers,
Right.
no.
More coming up in a minute. 626 KIDO Talk Radio, traffic and weather together. Let's get you to work safely and on time. Good morning, Dave. And Kevin Miller in the morning from Independence Indoor Shooting in Meridian, Idaho. Russ joins us. Russ, you take a look at what happened in 2018. The libs took over. What do you make of that?
As I look to the situation, they've lost sight of moral and if we don't help them realize it, I always remember Mike Savage saying that liberalism is a disease, and I'm beginning to believe that is so right because they don't see the real picture anymore.
Well, I don't think they want to see the picture.
That's probably true.
Well,
they're just trying to promote their own agendas and bring take over the country in a way that we who love conservatism and want to have our rights maintained, they're really trying to destroy it.
Agreed. Well, Russ, we're going to let you go back there, and good luck. I think they're going to train you a little, and you can learn how to protect yourself. So,
well, it'll be interesting. I've grown up around guns all my life, but never had any.
All right, Mike, you want to take him back, or are you hanging with me? What do you want to do? You're going to hang out with me, all right? Mike and Meridian continues on. All right, Russ, if you want to.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
We've got a lot of celebrity folks here, people already firing the machine guns as well. And by the way, if you're just tuning in for the first time, we are live once again, Independence Indoor Shooting, iishooting.com, 576 Guns. That's 576 Guns. Kevin Miller in the morning here until 9. And this is an interesting thing, an interesting phenomenon about this program that there's a reason why it's such a blessing to be a part of. And you could start to hear the gunfire in the background, is that for every other radio show, you have people going, I like Garth Brooks. I'm going to win Garth Brooks tickets. I have asked the half a dozen people that have been here already. Carl and his wife were here when the crew set up, the promo crew set up, the street team. And I said, hey, anybody want Garth Brooks tickets? No, we came here to shoot Kevin Miller. And shooting they are. And coming up, again, you're hearing the live fire. We would love for you to join. You can shoot for free. You can learn about Independence Indoor Shooting, Girls with Guns. What a way to start off your Friday supporting the Second Amendment at Independence Indoor Shooting with Kevin Miller, KIDO Talk Radio, 107.5 FM, 580 AM. Good morning, Maggie. And like we said, we're here all morning long. Mike, what do you think about this? You're having a good time this morning, right?
Oh, yeah, just hanging out with you here. This is a lot of fun, being able to sit here and talk to you about whatever subjects we would need to be discussed.
Sure. So we're going to have you step up closer to the microphone. And we're here all morning long. You can hear the sound of the gunfire, having a good time with everybody here at Independence Indoor Shooting. So what do you make of the president?
I think he's doing a good job. We needed him. There's been so much their way and what they wanted to do. He gets in, he's a disruptor. And as far as I'm concerned, I think he's a better politician than all these high-grade, college-educated politicians that they have in Washington.
Well, at least he's doing something about these things.
Yeah.
And by the way, your old neck of the woods, Chicago, people are very up in arms. Immigration advocates are gearing up for a fight against the mass deportation raids by the president's administration. Moni Ruiz Velasco is executive director of POSCO, speaking in Chicago Thursday, says she won't allow ICE or other agencies to violate the law. Let's take a listen on KIDO Talk Radio.